The main mitzvah on Seder night is imparting the story of Exodus from one generation to another. This mitzvah is known in Hebrew as Sipur Yetziat Mitzrayim, recounting and retelling the story of Exodus. But what is the goal of this mitzvah? Is it simply to impart the story of Exodus? Rabbi Soloveitchik suggests that there is so much more involved than just sharing a story from one generation to another. The Rav notes that the Torah itself suggests the goal of this mitzvah by the word that it chooses to describe the mitzvah. In Parshas Bo, the Torah reads in Perek Yud, Pasuk Beis, Ulaman tisaper be'aznei bincha uven bincha es asher hisalalti b'Mitzrayim v'sososai asher samti vam v'yidatem ki ani Hashem. And that you may recount in the hearing of your child and of your child's child how I made a mockery of the Egyptians and how I displayed my signs among them, in order that you may know that I am God. The important word in that pasuk is tisaper. The Rav noted tisaper is rooted in two Hebrew words. On the one hand, it is rooted in the word saper, to recount. A story can be transmitted orally, but it is also related to the noun, sofer, a scribe. A story can also be transmitted via the written word. The power of a sefer, of a book, the Rav explains, can be seen in Megillat Esther. On the one hand, the Megillah is called an igeret, a letter. A letter is not meant to be preserved for a long time. A person reads a letter and then discards it. On the other hand, the Megillah is called a sefer. By definition, a book is meant to be preserved. It's written on parchment. Its pages are bound together. It's meant to be permanent. A sefer is intended to be preserved and imparted from generation to generation. The Rav noted that the idea that we can even write a book, write our thoughts, and share them from generation to generation was perceived by our rabbis in Pirkei Avot, Perek Hey Mishnah Ches, as one of the greatest miracles of creation itself. The Mishnah states that this was one of the miracles that God created on twilight on the sixth day, right before the creation story ended. God, we are told, created Ktav v'hamichtav, the ability to write. The written word offers us the window to knowing how man thinks, and more important, we are able to identify with the author. When we learn Chumash, we are not only reading what took place thousands of years ago, we actually have the ability to become contemporaries with the protagonists. Who hasn't had that feeling when reading the story of Yosef and his brothers? We feel we know them personally and know exactly what is happening to them. Because of this reality, we feel excited year in, year out to find out, if you will, how the story will unfold, how it will all end, even though we've heard it year and year and year. This is the very idea that's at the core of Jewish education. In the words of Rabbi Soloveitchik, the foremost task of a parent is to be a sofer, to transform a child into a book upon which he writes indelibly, a book that will survive the parent and be imparted to succeeding generations. The appellation that we are the people of the book does not signify a nation that buys and reads books. Rather, it's a nation whose very being is a book. What is so sad about our modern generation is that we believe that the generation gap has separated one generation from another. Judaism demonstrates that we do not subscribe to this notion, that we can inscribe our religious consciousness from one generation to another, making our children sofrim. In light of this, we can state with total assertion that the goal of Seder night isn't simply to impart a story, even the important story of Exodus, to our children and grandchildren, but rather it's to inspire them to become sofrim, scribes, who will continue writing their chapters of Jewish history as well. Wishing everyone the ability to create the next generation of sofrim. May our people all be blessed to enjoy a Chag Kasher V'Sameach.